We lived at Keomoku, and it was a hard life. We, the children, we have to go and catch the fish ourselves. They have net that was made from the mosquito net. That's what they make, and then that's how we go out and catch the little fish, not the big kind, just to give us food to eat. Our poi come from Lahaina. Going to Lahaina, they have to go on a rowboat, just a small skiff. When the weather is clear, they have to go to Lahaina, buy some food, and come back on with that small skiff.
What was it like working cattle? Can you tell me what you did when you were working cattle on Lanai?
The first thing you learn, I know Ernest Richardson, John Richardson. They are the two hard men that really taught us how to handle horses and all that. I appreciate that. Even though they were harsh, that's all right. I learned after that. I took the licking. We used to drive the cattle, go back to Naha, and push them up on the mountain, go up to Antawaikikua. Oh, that's the hardest work, because it's so hot there. Yeah. I walk out. Everybody walk. You gotta allocate your own house. You go out. But we learn, and then we have to learn how to wrestle a calf, how to knock him down and that. But the ranch boss, Mr. Wittenberg, he's a tough hombre. He give up. Whop. Us, we gotta wrestle with the head. Yeah. But we make them.
The Coeli, the time the ranchers, they had a little store, and once a week, they used to have the boat come in and bring all the supply, and then they have poi in barrels, yes. Little barrels about that time, and full of poi. So on a Friday when the boat come in, and I think it was on the Fridays, all the ranchers used to come down to the store from their house and come to the store with their bowls and whatever for poi.
Let's come up to 1950-51. In 1951, I think, the ranch was closed. What was the feeling of the old Hawaiian families and them when the ranch closed?
Just like one ordinary thing, Having no excitement or anything, because we knew already what's coming. No one was really trauma over when the, what do you call it, pineapple got mixed up with these and all that. But I like the ranch though. The ranch was nice. Yeah. We learned a hell of a lot.
Sa kabukiran, layo ang kasakit. Ang kalanggaman ay nanag-awit. Sa kabukiran, layo ang kasakit. Ang kalanggaman ay nanagawit. Mao'y gaindig, mga paghadla, mga parayig, ang mga hudyaka. Ang hinuyuhoy, naglanoy-lanoy, sa kadahunan ug kabulakan, sa kadahunan ug kabulakan. O kinabuhi.
There were no picking machines until after World War II. So you picked, the company issued you a big canvas rectangle with two straps on the ends, which you wore over your shoulders, and you walked down the rows picking the pineapples and sticking them in this big sack.
They issued a canvas about, I don't know how, 3 feet by 3 feet square, I think. One bag with the sling. And that you put it over your shoulder. And you pick your pineapple and throw it inside. I had the hardest time because I don't know how to put it in a bag. Until one Filipino man came and teach me. You gotta make a fan. The crown go against your waistline. And you hold the bag up here with a strap. And that bag, you gotta put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You pick whatever you can and you sling it on the other side and start walking on.
You have to put the pineapple into the bag and then drop it at the end of the roll.
After you pick all those pineapples, after you throw it down on the ground, then you're ready to chop the top off.
And then we get a box and sit on the box and cut the top.
And then you have to use knife, cut the crown.
They called it the oshigiri.
But us, we just cut it. And then the trucks will come with those pineapple boxes, and you just set it all in there. See? If they're small, you can put plenty. When it comes to no, they call it the #1 fruit, that's all the big one. At the most, you can have one about 6. They're too heavy. #2 pineapple is you set them up again. But the other one, you just throw them in, because it's all small. So that when you throw the next box on top, when you stack it up on the truck, you don't smash it.
And then they get these loaders come with a truck. They load it on a truck, take it to the station, to the harbor.
Picket lines every morning, and the union had a nice setup for the people involved in the strike. They had a bread and breakfast or whatever you want to call
Soup
it.
kitchen kind.
Soup kitchen, yeah, for the striking employees, and they had the strike well organized, very well organized. Fishing team, hunting team, growing vegetable team, and all that, you know.
We have to lie down on the road so the boss cannot come inside the working place. I've seen that with my eyes, you know.
It still came to a point where the union was better for the employees. They get more pay. And, now we have somebody fighting for you. The union was taking care of their members. So that was...
Yeah.
Well, in my case, I had a real problem because I was working for the hospital. We being essential, we had to work, and we were non-union then. So I had to go work every day, and I didn't have a car. But then there's a picket line somewhere, and where I had to go to the work. So they stopped me. So you can't go to work, otherwise you're going to be called a scab. So next I'm going to turn around and went home. And then I would call the hospital and say, I can't pass the picket line, so I'm not going to work. So Dr. Wilkinson was the doctor then. So he would come and pick me up, and he's fuming, and he says, we're going to the ILW office and see Mr. De La Cruz. So we go over there, and he tells him she is an essential employee at the hospital, so she has to go. So you can't picket her. So I had a permit that Pedro gave, so I used to show it and it would go by. So that was okay. Then my dad wasn't working, and with all the siblings. So I told my dad, why don't you go over there and get some of the food to bring home? So he tried, and they said you cannot because my two sisters are already married. I was the key person, so they said no, you cannot because your daughter is working at the hospital. So I went down to see Mr. De La Cruz. I said, I can't support that. I said, I'm the only sole person. So he got a permit. My dad was able to get there and get some food there. Wow. Yeah, it was really sticky.
But I thought it was going to get rough. I tell you, I was afraid, But then we had a good leader, Pedro De La Cruz. He says, hey, we better work on the idea that we're not out to kill anybody, we're not out to do harm or whatever, or damage. We'll never touch the equipment. We're going to do it the right way, just by verbal commitments with the company and all that. We had this guy, Shiro Okama, he and the brother, Goro, yeah? They were good. They were tough. But when everything went settled, even the boss, they admit it was a good thing that happened, because they never did see what we were arguing about until when this thing happened. Then they knew what's what. We did our fight the right way. We worked hard verbally as well as doing work for ourselves